Hi, Tim. I hope you had a good weekend. It's the first weekend that really felt like fall, so I kind of liked it. Um, okay, so I really like how you chose another informational piece that you used your own experience to write about. In your comments, or in my comments on your piece, I said that a lot of really good informational pieces are written from people's own experiences. Some of the best ones are. Um, So I think that that's a good start. However, I think that you can make this much more engaging to your reader by adding details that are unexpected and that pique your reader's interest. Heather posted a screencast probably like 10 days ago about using interesting wording and including details that not everybody else would notice. I would love it if you watched her screencast and did this with your own writing. Did these steps. Read your paper and underline what, if somebody's reading it, you'll have to pretend that you aren't the one who wrote it, but underline if somebody else is reading it, do you think that they would already know what you're saying, what facts you've stated? Like if I were to do this for your paper, and I were to underline what I already knew, um, I would I would already know that you need to prepare months in advance. Maybe not months and months, but I know that it takes a long time to plan trips, especially a cross-country trip. I would assume that. I know that when you go on a trip, you need to figure out where you're staying, where you want to go, how long the trip is going to be. I know that, so I would underline that too. Um, I guess this is an opinion, so I would urge you to step outside of your comfort zone by being open to heart racing activities. So that's kind of something that's interesting to me, is that that's what you're urging your reader to do. Maybe if you included specific examples of those heart racing activities, it would be more interesting to the reader. Um, and then this is also interesting as well, where you urge them to visit, your reader to visit, but I think again, some more specific examples, like I know that national parks, historical monuments, cultural events are all interesting to see, that they're all worth seeing, in my opinion, and your opinion as well, obviously. Um, so a lot of your paper, if it had more facts that not everybody knows, it would be a lot more interesting to the reader. And I think because you went on a cross-country trip yourself, I think that you have those facts that you can include. So I want you to go through your own paper and do this. Underline what you think other people would already know and highlight what you think people would find interesting. And if you're finding that your whole paper is underlined and not as much of it is highlighted, then we need to make some changes, right? So Heather gives some really good mentor texts. The first one is one that is not so good, that a lot of this will be underlined. And then the second one, let's see if my computer will load. Well, the second one has a lot more interesting facts, and not much of it is underlined. Not much of it she already knew. And that's a way better informational piece to read. And it's not loading. Um, that's a way better informational piece to read because you didn't know everything that was already in it. So I want you to go through that with your own paper, and then after you add details that pique your reader's interest, do the same thing again. See if you are underlining most of your paper or highlighting most of your paper. If it's more highlight than underline, that's where we want to be. Okay? But I like that you wrote from your own experience. That immediately, like your hook immediately tells me that you're a credible source for this because you have actually been on a cross-country trip yourself and you've watched your parents prepare for it. So that immediately tells me that you know what you're talking about. So let's see if we can take it to the next level, okay? But I want you to stick with this same piece, okay? Don't write a whole new thing unless you really want to, but I want to see what you can do with this piece. But you really want to write a whole new piece, you can, but I think you can take this exact piece and just make it more, just make it pique your reader's interest more than it has. Okay? All right. Well, I hope you had a good weekend, Tim. I will talk to you soon. Bye.